My name is Matt Manilli, and my final presentation research is on composting facilities. The main goals and benefits of composting facilities is to effectively remove most or all waste and convert it into a helpful product for soil. There are many good associations that come with using a composting facility, some of which include the removal of hazardous waste from the environment, an alternative from harsh chemicals used on plants, and consumers know exactly what they are getting and know it is safe for their crops' growth. On the economical side of the business, I decided to look at the Bosque River Compost Facility. Most of the numbers calculated can be reviewed for exact costs, but this happens to be just an estimate. Looking through the Bosque River composting machinery, they have a few things including a Trojan 15Z loader, a skid steer loader, and a McCloskey trommel screen. The Trojan 15Z loader and the skid steer loader appear to be purchased in full, allotting to $12,000 and $10,000 respectively. The McCloskey trommel screen is different, however, in which they have rented it for $2,000 a week, and assuming they use it for the whole year, 52 times $2,000 a week, allocated $104,000, with a total fixed cost coming out to be $126,000. The only variable cost that stood during case review were the trucks and the 30 cubic yards that were loaded into the trucks. I decided to compute the trucking cost with a standard $150 charge multiplied by 6,000 cubic yards sold by the business and then divided by the 30 cubic yards that were distributed into each truck. This came out to be $30,000 if trucks were being used for each delivery of 30 cubic yards. Then the last variable charge came out to be $900 for bags, assuming that the bags used were $30. There appear to be three different methods a composting facility can go about in terms of turning the waste into a viable product. These methods include aerated windrow composting, aerated static pile composting, and in-vessel composting. Aerated windrow composting is usually involved with local governments. With such a high yield of product, getting out to the consumer can be a doozy. This is where the government comes into play. They take all the product off the hands of the facility and market it back out to the local populace at a reasonable price. This is great for a facility because all they have to do is worry about making it, and then all the nitty-gritty parts of selling it and marketing it are on the hands of someone else. Aerated static pile composting is quite different from the other two methods, and in my opinion is the most interesting. The way the method works is that you get an agent that makes the composting process breathable. By breathable, I mean that the certain agent circulates air throughout the pile from the bottom to the top and vice versa, in turn leading to a sellable product for consumers. Last but not least, there's a method of in-vessel composting. This form of composting is the simplest way of composting and virtually the easiest. In-vessel composting works exactly how it sounds. The waste is put into a vessel, where it then passes the air through the vessel, leading to the production of compost within as little as 6 months. This method, in my opinion, is the easiest for farmers or anyone in that matter to use. I think the way only because the waste is put into a controlled environment, therefore making it easy for anyone anywhere to adhere to the process and make a product. The only problem seen with composting facilities is usually for the farmers or people working it themselves. They have to worry about the emission of any chemical hazards that leave the site, which then leads to environmental problems and legal issues no one wants to get into. Also, another main factor is the location chosen for the facility. If it is near a town or city, you will surely get complaints and could possibly lead to bigger problems down the road.